Hi, it's Pete Buttigieg, and I'm sending warm greetings from South Bend, Indiana. I'm thrilled to be joining you today in support of the outstanding work that People PAC is doing. And I want to thank you for everything that you're doing to make sure that in November we'll be celebrating wins up and down the ticket. Look, we have got to defeat Donald Trump. We know that. But that's table stakes. I strongly believe that as a party, we must not treat the presidency like it's the only office that matters, this year or any other. We're constantly reminded this year that we've got to fight for every single foothold of power. And one of these critical footholds is in state legislatures, especially places where Republicans have a track record of weaponizing some of the basic tools of democracy, like how district lines are drawn. And we must not let them manipulate that process for partisan advantage. That's where People PAC comes in. With a roster of award-winning TV and film producers, the People PAC is giving first-time candidates access to digital advertising tools so that they can reach voters on social media and engage them on issues, the sort of digital door-knocking that's more important now than ever. And flipping seats in these state legislatures has already made a difference. In Virginia, Democrats flipped 21 seats since 2017, and their House of Delegates has now been able to pass laws that have provided health care to almost 500,000 people, raised the minimum wage, supported unions, and benefited the environment. On top of that, they've been able to improve protections for the LGBTQ+ community while expanding voting access and fairness. We should celebrate victories like these, but also keep an eye on states that are close to getting there as well. Consider a state like Texas, where Democrats need just 9 seats to be able to expand healthcare to nearly 1.2 million people who will otherwise remain uninsured. Or look at Iowa, where in 2018 Democrats came within 300 votes of flipping the state house, and now are just 3 seats away in November from becoming the majority. In Kansas, where Democrats need just 1 more seat to break a Republican supermajority that has undermined their Democratic governor's efforts to stop the spread of COVID, we can make a huge difference. Through my own organization, Win the Era, we are supporting candidates who will demonstrate bold, progressive leadership at every level of government. None of this happens without directing energy and investment to that crucial state level. That's why we've endorsed candidates for state legislatures across the country. State legislative races are perhaps the most overlooked and undervalued opportunity for Democrats this November, and can be won with investments of pennies on the dollar compared to federal contests. Democrats have the opportunity to expand access to health care, protect the right to vote, stop unfair gerrymandering, and it starts with winning these state house races, sometimes decided by a single vote. We got a huge opportunity in 2020, and the path to victory in these legislative bodies is clear, but only if we bring the energy and the resources to meet this moment in a once-in-a-generation electoral environment. So let's build on that progress we've made in 2017 and 2018 and win back power in state house chambers across the country. On the campaign trail, I would often say that it's hard for some Americans to look at what's happening in Washington and feel that they're being represented. But they often do look to their state and local government and understand the difference that it makes in our lives. Right now, we've got a group of young, diverse, talented candidates all across the country who are eager to help their communities. And if we can inspire voters to care about the people who represent them in the state house, it also means that when they check the box for that local Democratic candidate, they're likely to vote up the ballot too. Flipping some of these seats would be a political thunderclap with broad national consequences for policy and politics. It gives us an opportunity to put a check on voter suppression, restore balance to the presidential electoral map, and extend health coverage via the Affordable Care Act in some of the nation's most populous states. We can see that November is a tipping point for our democracy. And with voting season already underway in many states, this is our opportunity to make a difference. It's not enough to just defeat Trump, though we must. We must also reclaim the foundation of power in these states. So I'm grateful to all of you for joining me in support of the People PAC in this critical work that I believe can change our country for the generation to come. Thank you for what you're doing, and until it's safe to gather again in person, stay well and stay motivated.